Good day, I am Camille Demorin from BE Ed Second Year, Block 1. And here is my report. My report is all about on mother tongue based multilingual education or MTB-MLE. But what is mother tongue? So from the word mother, so it is the first language that we used, or it is the home language. It refers to one's native language learned from children and passed from one generation to the next. So Philippines have recently adopted the utilization of the first language of learners as a medium of instruction. It is referred by the DepEd as mother tongue-based multilingual education. So, multilingual education refers to the first education. That is schooling that uses the mother tongue and transitions to the additional languages. This means learning to read and write in their first language or L1, and also teaching subjects like mathematics, science, social studies, health in their first language. So many studies have proven that the mother tongue based education is effective in the education. So the policymakers adopt it in the educational system of the country. So here are the benefits. Enhanced scholastic capability, where students can easily understand and retain the lessons in their mother tongue, thus making them more productive. Next is the active involvement in the class, because when students know their language, or when the students know the language being taught in the particular subject, they are more active, or they can express freely their ideas about the lesson. Accessibility to instruction and improve creative and critical thinking abilities. It also promotes and preserve the cultural heritage. So just by knowing the first language, just by knowing their first language, they can know the culture of that community because of the language. Next is increased active involvement of the parents, because when children don't know what is being taught in that particular lesson using mother tongue, they will immediately ask their parents about it, because their parents are the first who knows their first language. So these studies have validated that the use of mother tongue or L1 is more effective in teaching in class, and it promotes education for all, or EFA goals. So the languages that are considered by DepEd in its MTB-MLE implementation are Ilocos, Pangasinan, Kapampangan, Maranao, Cebuano, Bicol, Chavacano, Magindanaon, Tausog, Waray, and Hiligaynon. So here are some of the additional benefits or study that the MTB-MLE is effective by the Lingua Franca project and the Buagan First Language component. Learners learn to read more quickly in their first language, or L1, because this is the home language, or this is the first language. This is the first language that they have learned from their homes. They can easily understand the lessons, so they are more fluent and they can read and write on their first language. So the next pupils who have learned to read and write in their L1 learn to speak, read, and write in the second language, or L2, more quickly than those who learned in their second language. Learners begin their language in their language that they understand best, which some of them are mother tongue or their first language. So, learning to read in L1 develop the skills that transfer to reading to any other languages. So next, in terms of cognitive development and its effects to the other academic areas, pupils taught to read and write in their L1 acquire such competencies more quickly. Using the learner's first language provides strong foundation by developing cognitive skills and comprehension of the academic content from day one. So here is the gradual implementation of the MPB-MLE. So it is said that L2 languages will build on skills acquired and learned from L1 or the first language. It provides the literacy instruction in L1 as a means of helping L1 speakers acquire literacy skills in L2. This practice also enables them to use their native language well, enhancing their bilingual capability. So, para sa future educator, are you in favor or are you agree that you will teach mother tongue in Bicol with so many dialects or so many languages? The four major groups of languages here in Bicol are Coastal Bicol, which have 4 sub-languages, Inland Bicol with 6 sub-languages, Pandan Bicol with 1 language, and last Bisacol with 3 languages. So, are you in favor? So, for me, as a future educator, as a future elementary teacher, so yes, I am in favor because everything that is hard for you will be easy if you study it or if you understand it well. So, and it is mandatory in the DepEd. So, as a future educator, you should abide by the curriculum. You should obey by what the DepEd is given to you, by what the DepEd was given to the teachers. So the only thing that I will do is to study it. So, for example, if I will be a teacher in Bisacol, then I will also study the 3 sub-languages of in Bisacol group. So I will study in that particular language. So in teacher, learning is lifetime. So for the mother tongue to be effective, you should be the first who knows the mother tongue or their first language. All languages are interrelated and interdependent. So all languages are connected with each other. So for you to be fluent in the second languages or to the other languages, you should first learn you should first know the first languages based from the studies because it is effective. Language acquisition and learning is an active process that begins since from birth and continues throughout life. So for us, learning is lifetime. So also in language, learning language is also a lifetime. So we learn every day from our friends, our peers, from our parents, up to the surroundings, up to our cultures. By learning and incorporating language structures into their repertoire and using them in a variety of contexts, students develop language fluency and proficiency. So we learn through the spiral, or we learn from spiral progression, meaning we learn every day from our prior knowledge in increasing level, which is the spiral progression. Positive learning experiences in language-rich environment. Next, learning requires meaning. We use language to express examine new experiences and knowledge in relation to their prior knowledge, experiences, and beliefs. They make connections, anticipate possibilities, reflect upon ideas, and determine course of action. Successful language learning involves viewing, listening, speaking, reading, and writing activities and accuracy. Language learning involves recognizing, accepting, valuing, and building on students' existing language competence. Through language learning, learners develop functional and critical literacy skills. They learn to control and understand conventions of the target language that are valued and rewarded by society, and to reflect on and critically analyze their own use of language and other languages. So, for the summary, it is proven by the studies that learning through our first language or through our mother tongue is effective in teaching the class because they will be more active in class. They can understand all the lessons that are being taught to them, and also it helps. The first language helps in the transition of the second language or the other languages. So, that is for my report, and I hope you have understand something in this report. Thank you and ingat.